This hotel opened officially on the 25th of September 2019. But before that, there were a number of processes to do with ideation. First of all, we identified a need in the market here in Imbara. We did some research and we found most of the clients who are actually experiencing hotel services, they were not happy with the experience, 60% of them. And we felt that was a gap in the market that we could explore. The next aspect was to do with where do we have this established? We had different locations at play, but we were able to go through a rigorous conversation, and then we zeroed on this because we wanted to sell a quieter, secluded environment where people can easily access and also have the best when they come around. For some players who are within the city center, the complaints are always around people who are transiting through noise. You have bars and you have nightclubs, which make the whole experience of somebody resting totally impossible. So we zeroed on this part of the bypass. You can see the neighborhood is a very quiet one, and we felt that could be a very unique selling proposition because it's not something you can easily copy and you replicate, put anywhere. So we zeroed on the location. Then lastly, we asked ourselves, what is it that we want to be known for the moment we get to operate? We wanted to have the most friendly customer experience when somebody walks in here, the best meals, but also the most neat environment when you come in here. When you get into that room, it should be as fresh as possible to give you the idea of how you can relax during your entire stay. First of all, here what we do, we came up with a system of customer feedback. Last year, in 2020, we have a mechanism that tracks these complaints or even feedback. And our target was to make sure that we have a 70% rating across customer service, across our food, across the cleanliness, those three aspects. And our target for 2020 was to make sure that we achieve 80%. That one we were able to achieve it, and this year we want to achieve 90% across those different aspects. And the whole idea is to do that, to do with listening to these clients. When they give us feedback, we are always quick to act on that feedback, so that when somebody comes next time, they feel their views matter. When they come and they find the same issue coming up all the time, that could be, you are just one reason away from them not returning. One of the things that sets this place apart from other places, it is the way how the guest experience is run here. From the time you arrive, from your stay up to when you leave, you feel like it is a place away from home. We came up with what we call a referral program for our clients, and this is something that is aimed at appreciating those people who stay here, and they are able to recommend to their friends and relatives and business associates to stay in this place. So we keep in touch, and we have a referral program that gives them some points at the end of the day that you keep winning for every person you refer here. So we have had people reach a point where you come and you stay without paying any money because of the different people we have been able to refer to stay at this hotel. When it is a birthday, we reach out to our clients, we wish them a happy birthday, and at some point we even ask them, what is it that you prefer from our menu? You could have stayed here several times, but maybe your finances could not allow you to maybe pay for that good meal. But now you have an opportunity to select an item from the menu. And also thirdly, being able to put in the initiative to make sure that at the end of the day, you listen to them and give them the best service that is possible every time they walk into the doors of this brand. When you look at hospitality, for many people who have stayed in different hotels in this region, there are mainly three aspects that people value. One, people they want to have friendly customer service. Secondly, they want to have good meals. And thirdly, which is very particular when it comes to this industry, is the cleanliness. When somebody gets into that room, they want to feel the freshness. They want to see those white bed sheets without anything like a taint on them. They want to get into that bathroom and they see it clean, spotless. Those are some of the things that people value so much. So when you are not intentional to make sure these things are really done to the best consistently, then at the end of the day, you're likely going to lose out. Even if you find that there is any slight spot on that bed sheet, the practice here or the rules of the game are that please don't use it for that particular day. get out something that at the end of the day is going to be able to meet the client needs and preferences. The hotel business in Uganda requires, for me, I think, about 3 aspects of things that you need to be able to make it. One, you need, as an investor, you need to have identified a need that you want to really tap into in the market. Because for most people, it's about they invest out of emotions. Somebody else started a hotel and is making money. Therefore, I think I can also be able to get into the same and make the money. So you must have some credible data that is informing your decision. First of all, you need something that you want to address in the market. Secondly, you need to have a location. What location do you aspire to set up this establishment? And then thirdly, it is now the financing and the entire plan of how you're going to roll out the idea from construction up to when now you have the entire product set up in the market, the staffing, and how you're going to do the marketing to attract those people that you want to sell to. The whole idea is that the perception that most people have is that for you to make it in business, everyone is targeting Kampala, because that's the perception that has been sold over the years. You have about 65% of the entire money circulating in the economy tied up in Kampala alone. So what, for me, I think the government needs to do is you come up with those policy initiatives that are going to make other regions attractive. For example, in terms of infrastructure, in terms of financing, but also people having that confidence that I can be able to have the human resource that can be able to run these ventures. You see, when COVID hit, one of the sectors that were hit was the hotel industry. So when the economy started opening up gradually, the whole idea that we looked at was how can we maybe now adjust the pricing and we make it attractive for people to now feel like they can come back. But also the other aspect that we did was we were able to now, because we keep track of our clients, we're able now to also reach out to them, send them messages that can give them hope and keep them appreciated that this will get to a point where it will end. Therefore, you keep in touch with your people. The future plans of expansion are to do with, we want to set up a more luxury lodge in windy, impenetrable national park, because we feel that's an area that attracts luxury travelers who come in to track the gorillas, but the facilities in there are not sufficient enough given the numbers that we project in the next 5-10 years.
The opportunity presented to us by the Africa Continental Free Trade Area to manage our balance of trade deficit is enormous. But we know for sure that we've got to put our house in order. And one of the key areas to look at is standards. How do we maintain our standards to serve beyond our households? Take a look.
Viewers, for youth and women who are interested in doing value addition, there are procedures that you need to follow. There are protocols that you need to follow. One, you need to get the standards of your products. And the standard body in Uganda is Uganda National Bureau of Standards. So if you want to do honey, you want to do ginat, you want to do ice cream, please go and get the standard. Standard is like a direction. It gives the direction and the procedure on what you're supposed to do. Two, for us who work with smallholder farmers, you need to know where your products is coming from. So you need to have a traceability for your product, so that in case of any adulteration, any challenges, you're able to what? To identify where the gap is. Three, what is important is to set up a place with very hygienic condition. Like, you know, honey is a food grade. It's something that we eat. So the hygiene level of your plant, your facility, even if it's small, it's supposed to be very clean, very neat. Then the other thing is to give your staff skills in processing, in packaging, and then also sealing the product, so that when you take it to the market, you take it out, it's really appealing to the client. So giving yourself and your staff skills is very important, and then eventually you need to get a Q mark from Uganda National Bureau of Standards for your product. So some of these are a few basic things that you need to put in place so that you're able to do your value addition well.
The world where we sit today has changed in immense ways. The way we do things has totally changed. Take, for instance, the way employers hire, and the way employees look for jobs. In our segment of Technology Today, we speak to an innovator who has come up with an application to help bring employers closer to employees.
Pakasa app is actually a platform, or it's an application, just like you see modern apps, that connects labor service providers like the plumbers, electricians, mechanics, and those people that do casual work in the community to the people that seek for those services. If someone needed a plumber to fix his pipelines or to do his mechanical stuff, he can simply go through our app, which is Pakasa app, to connect those service providers in the community. So we help out the youth and different people who are skilled in different professions, especially to do with casual work, to connect to the seekers or to the people that need their services in the community. So this actually helps them to try counter with the challenge of unemployment, to do with they cannot find jobs, but some people need their services, so it is easy for them to connect into these opportunities that are available into the community. So to get Pakasa app, you go to Google Play Store. Then you search for Pakasa. Then after, when you find it is this app, this one, the very first one, you download it. So I already have it, so you just open it. And so you open the app. Yeah, now it has loaded successfully. It shows now different service providers. It is a big list of service providers. As you can see, they are border riders in the transport category, the cab drivers. Then away from that category, we have household services, the clothes washers, the car washers, the home cleaners, dishwashers, different categories. So if you wanted, let's say I wanted to outsource a website designer, let's say I needed a website for my small business, I can just go to search and then I type web designer. So it has already suggested. I click website designer, then I click to confirm. Then I proceed by clicking this yellow button, this one that is below. When I click it, it will ask me to specify a location. So I'll choose a location from where I want to get a web designer. So I'll put Zana. Then I also specify, I put my contact, because this web designer has now to contact me. So then I'll choose call me back and then send. So any web designer that is registered in Pakasa, after when I send my request, he will get notified, he will get my number, and then they'll call me back. What inspired me is, well, I'm part of that community that is being battered by challenges to do with employment. You will find that you are graduated, you hold skills with you, but then you find you spend longer times and not finding a job. So yet there are people who require the skills that we already have. Like for example, on a gig economy, someone just needs you in a day or two to do their tasks, and then they get to pay you. But then there was no platform to bridge us to that. So I felt there was a need for us to set up a platform or a channel that can connect the demand and those that can offer those services. The app, it does not eradicate fully the problem of unemployment, but it creates another channel, or it creates another avenue for those that have their skills ready to get employed on a gig basis. Like you can get hired today, you get hired tomorrow, and you can earn some money to earn yourself a living. Based on the different levels of technologies, you realize that tech, especially to do with smart technology, it is more applicable in urban centers, yet the challenge cuts across even those that are in rural centers. So already we are working with a few agents, like the mobile money agents. Yeah, we installed some as Pakasa agents that can help those that are technologically marginalized. They can simply reach out to our agents, and they get also to request for those services.
And this brings us to the end of the show tonight. Thank you so much for keeping with us.
We don't take this for granted. That's why we want to keep the conversation going. So if you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, bring them. We'll have this going throughout the week. I've been your host, Charles Boji.
And I'm Shamim K. Matovo.
Until next time, have a good evening and God bless. Bye-bye.